Hello collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at PB02 Kamen Rider Nago and Kamen Rider Punkjack Beat and Monster Form Armed Parts Set from the Revolve change figure line for Kamen Rider Geats. Now it was a bit of a mouthful, but we are getting a decent amount of stuff in this set. So we take a look at the top of the box here. You can see we're getting Monster Form and Beat Form. We're getting Punkjack's cape. We're actually getting two parts sets here for chain array and hammer. And then we're getting the little like vest pieces and shoulder pads that go with them. And of course we're getting the head for both Punkjack and Nago. And we're getting the Beat axe as well. So there's a lot of stuff in this set. I am kind of bummed that it got pushed to Premium Bandai and they're not really doing any more retail releases. But they are giving us a lot of stuff. So it is kind of nice. If you've been following this line so far, there's a lot of forms we can do and a lot of different combinations we can make, which I think is kind of fun. So front of the box here, very cool. You can see using the two sets, you can only make one of these figures at a time because it's, you know, switching who's the legs and who's the pants. But really cool artwork over here on the side. Over here you have Beat, and have Nago with Beat and Monster there as the feet. And then you have Punkjack with them reversed over here on this side. Not really much going on the bottom. Again, we already took a look at the top. And then they have some of Geats using some of the forms here on the back, which of course we can take a look at. I really like the look of Geats with the blue eyes. I think that looks really sharp. So, going to go ahead and get all this stuff out of the packaging here, and then we'll take a closer look. So here's everything that's included in the set. We'll start over here with Monster Form. And the nice thing about these sets, there is no stickers. Everything is painted. And I think actually everything looks really sharp. The blue and the yellow really pop here. A little bit of silver here on the chest. The head looks fantastic. I really like that. Came out great. You can see the monster buckle. Now there's no paint on the buckles, but I understand. Would be nice if there was a little bit, but I get it. And the way the gloves work, they're actually just kind of pegged in. So it's kind of your standard hand/foot. But you can see that there's a spot there and a spot there, and there's actually two tabs here. And it pegs on pretty securely. I think it does the job well. Looks pretty good. Standard articulation for this line, you have kind of a hinge there at the base of the neck. And then you have a swivel here at the base of the skull. I think it's actually a ball joint. Yeah, you can see. Can look in pretty well, look up pretty well. Swivel side to side. You have a ball joint here in the actual body. And then you have a hinge here at the shoulder. So you can move this all around. Good range of motion there. You have a nice hinge. Really good posability with that. You can kind of move the shoulder pad a little bit as you need to. You have a bicep swivel. Really nice elbow there. And then you have a ball joint here at the wrist because that has to also act as a foot. But yeah, really looks sharp. I like that quite a bit. Next up we have Beat. And Beat has some really nice paint applications. I remember doing this one in the Soto line, and the amount of stickers were just out of control. But this is all really nicely painted with this like metallic teal, a little bit of metallic magenta here. The head is really nicely painted. I feel like the fact that these are premium, they are giving us a little bit more love in the paint department because these all look really sharp. Unfortunately, they still can't make the stripe go all the way around, so that's a bit of a bummer, but the paint that we do get looks nice. And you can see the Beat buckle there. Really nice. Kind of a huge buckle, but they detailed it out really, really nice. So this is another one that I think looks really, really good. We have an orange cape here for Punkjack. Not really much going on with that. We have our two heads. I think the Nago head looks really nice. Nice gold paint there, which looks really sharp. And then we have the Punkjack head. Unfortunately, I talked about this a little bit with the last review with these like, you know, polar bear type heads. The fact that the head sits inside, you know, then the eyes, you can see the head inside and it doesn't really fill up the eyes totally. So unfortunately, these are just not very successful. But the Nago one does look pretty good and we'll get to that in a moment. So this is going to be just like Japan, where it's just not that successful, unfortunately. We do get some more weapons here. We have some armed options. We have chain array. This thing has got some heft to it. This is really kind of weighty. And you have a nice actual metal chain there, which is really nice. And then here's the part that they hold in their hand. So that's a really nice weapon. We have armed hammer. That's looking pretty sharp. And then we have the Beat axe. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little bummed with how this turned out. I will say aesthetically it looks good. Very nice molded detail. But you can see here, this part's really flimsy, kind of a really soft plastic. Down here, it's pretty solid. But I also wish that they had done this in one of the other colors, maybe pink or blue or something, just because the actual beat axe is pretty much a combination of pink and blue. There is some black and gray, but to do the whole thing out of gray is just a little boring in my opinion. It's got these two pegs here, and I'm not really sure where they're supposed to go. I'm assuming they're just meant to plug in here to the side. Maybe just something like this, just for like having it storage on the side. Because otherwise I don't really know what those would be for. But they can peg in to the side there like that. Because the way it's supposed to work is you're just supposed to feed it through the hand. So if you're playing the guitar, you would have the hand like this, although I have it backwards. But so you'd have the hand hold the guitar like that. And then obviously if you're using it as an axe, you would do the same, but now flip it around like this and slide it through like that. So, and like I said, it's very flimsy. So this one I just don't think turned out that great, but it's all right. It just could be a little better there. And then we have some armed options here. Here are the little vest plates. Here is armed hammer, and here is chain array. And those both look pretty good. I think I have them upside down, but I think they go on like that. And then we get additional shoulder pads for those as well. So that's nice. We can use these for the other ones that came in the other set as well. So we only got one shoulder pad in the last set, so now we have two more. So we're starting to build out the collection there to be able to use them all at the same time. Hopefully we'll get some more. And then what I thought was really cool is we have these little pieces, which I had no idea what these were at first. But these are Nago's like little bracelet bangles. So you can just peg these in here to that top little spot right there on the hand / foot, and then pop that on, and then that way Nago has her little bracelets, which I thought was really cool. And you can use it on any form, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be just beat. You saw that Monster has them as well. Now obviously you wouldn't be able to do them and the gloves at the same time, but you can use them on any of the other forms. So I think that's really cool. I appreciate those accessories. So it's a really nice set. A lot of great stuff in here, and I'm going to start showing you off some of the different combinations we can do. So here are Punkjack and Nago with their base forms. Now I'm using some entry body pieces from previous releases. These do not come in this box, just these top two pieces do. But they look good. I think Nago is really successful. I think having the two little bracelet pieces clip in looks really great. Her head looks really good. Unfortunately, you know, the beat axe is not the best, and no matter how I try to pose her with it, actually playing it, it looks weird and awkward. It just doesn't really work the way the hands are that well. But I guess they tried their best. Punkjack looks pretty good. I still feel like the head just doesn't fit on that perfectly, but you can kind of see the blue through the eyes a little bit, just not nearly as pronounced as you can with Nago. But I love the cape. I think that looks really sharp. I love the giant boxing gloves. Everything about him I think looks pretty cool. So I think overall these two are pretty successful. Like I said, these do not come with this set. I just want to point that out. But because we have some of the previous releases, I can kind of do them just each using their base form. Now, of course, you could use Boost. You could use any other one you want. I just decided to show them with entry-level legs here, but you can mix and match any combinations you want. So here I've switched them around, and now Nago has Beat as the pants, and then I've given her Armed Hammer as the top, so this piece just clips onto the chest, and that part just clips onto the shoulder, and then they get the Armed Hammer weapon. Same thing with Punkjack over here. He now has Monster as the legs, and I've given him Chain Array. And again, they look really cool. I really like getting more and more of these armed pieces because I think they look really cool and they're very easy to attach and switch out and very successful. And plus it gives them a lot of different weapons to work with, which I think is really cool. Also, having the boxing gloves as the feet is pretty hilarious. It strangely works, even though you wouldn't think that it does. It kind of just looks like he's put bags over his feet or something. But I think it looks really cool. Both of these forms I think are pretty successful here. And here's a quick look at Geats using Beat. And then here's Geats using Monster as well. I think this form looks really sharp. I think Geats with the blue eyes always looks really cool. I really like him using this form. I think this is a really fun set. I think both of these forms look really good. I will admit that the Punkjack helmet doesn't really fit as perfectly as it could onto the head, but it's not terrible. I really do like the monster form, though. I think that's really colorful. Really nice paint applications. I think the gloves work well. The cape looks good. All in all, I think that form for him looks really good. Nago, I think, looks even better. I mean, her helmet's really nicely painted, fits on very well. You can see the red underneath come through the eyes really sharply. All of the metallic paint on the beat form really, really looks nice. I wish the beat axe was done a little better. I was finally able to get it through the bottom of the hand the other way, so I can kind of have a more, natural looking pose of her holding the guitar, but it's still not great, but it's the best I can do. I do really like the attention to detail by including the little bracelets for her. I think that's really nice. All in all, I think they did a really good job. I also really like the armed hammer and armed chain array parts. That's really, really great. So it's a really fun set. If you've been collecting the line so far, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's not perfect. There's one or two little things that I just think keep it from being perfect, but a lot of time does look like it was put into this. And I will say that now that they're pushing into Premium Bandai, this is the first set that I really do feel like they put that extra Premium Bandai love into it, because there's a lot of nice, really sharp paint applications, and that metallic paint looks really nice. So I feel like they did do a really nice job of loading this one out. So definitely recommend picking this one up if you've been collecting the line so far, or even if you're just looking to jump into it. This is a pretty good one to jump into, but if you've been collecting everything so far, it just gives you more and more things you can do with this set. So every new set that you add to the collection just unlocks more and more combination possibilities, and I think that's really fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.